Hey, hello everyone. Another video as highlighted here. We're looking to connect some key concepts, linking it to playing out of the back, which is a team functional concept, which is something it's hard to introduce to players if they don't have a good understanding of the following concepts. Please note that at under 12, because I'm showing you some clips from an under 12 team, they play 9v9. So we go from 7-a-side to 9v9. They are allowed to punt the ball. Although with that, grouping under 11 and under 12 together, there's a separation there. Under 11 players aren't allowed to hit the ball, where under 12 players are. All right, quickly going through it. So for week one, we talked about moving the ball to move the opponent. To do so effectively, right, we're looking to create openings, right? Openings to go forwards as you build, right, moving forwards. We need angles at the right distance as well as at the right time. And I need to add to that, every situation is different. So as much as a lot of us look for black and white, there's no such thing as black and white in soccer. So we have to help players understand this and read the game effectively and adjust accordingly, right? If they can adjust accordingly, they'll find a way to adjust to what the opponent throws at them, because soccer is a game of problem solving, so to speak. There's decisions to be made. They got to recognize how to provide an angle of support at the right distance and at the right time. But again, it's never exactly the way as it was the play before. We also talked about the importance of introducing players at U9 and U10 to the concept of width. Width, again, going with the first concept, is to open up the opponent. At U9, U10, a lot of players still struggle with that idea a bit. North-south is something they get up and down from one goal to the other. They don't necessarily realize how you can use the width effectively to, again, open up an opponent. If that's done well, it makes it easy to support your teammate off the ball effectively, as before, at the right angle, at the right distance, at the right time. It will also improve the decision-making overall. Now, one last thing I want to highlight before I go to the actual video, okay, is the individual movement as in the support of the ball. How can I open up a passing lane, an opportunity for my teammate to play me the ball by moving effectively, right? A lot of youth players, and I see it a lot, especially in American youth soccer, think that means you have to move to the ball, but you're more effective often by staying away, because with you moving to the ball, you're going to bring opponents with you. All right, enjoy the video, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to highlight two different moments of the same team in the same game, an under 12 team, 9v9, instances in which we try to play out of the back. Now, we're not just talking about the team functional topic of playing out of the back, but we're trying to link it to some important concepts players need to be introduced to as they go through our programs. So we're going to talk a little bit more or look a little bit better at whether or not we're moving the ball to move the opponents, to draw on opponents, create space. And are we providing each other with angles of support at the right distance, at the right time, given the situation? And for that, we also need width, which is something, especially at the younger ages, U9, U10, we need to talk about a lot. All right, so letting it roll here. All right, so positive start. Okay, so we were unsuccessful. That can happen, or we almost made it out, but we struggled a little bit after the initial first few passes because we didn't really break lines. We did have some width, but I would ask you to look at especially the two center mids in conjunction also with the center back, highlighting also that whatever that in each system of play utilized, there's different ways to play out of the back successfully, and there's not just one way. Which could also differ from situation to situation. So once again, so if first pass played, and now we have so many players moving to the ball, the center back, the two center mids, so as the left mid, who is starting wide, but is dropping in, that we drag so many opponents into a small area that we're gonna, look, we're not opening up the opponent very, very effectively. And this is why we struggle to play out. Okay, now I'm going to move forward, all right, a little further forward to a second instance in which the team was a lot more successful. Keeper retrieves the ball after intercepting a free kick. And again, I'm just going to let it play and talk about moving the ball to move the opponent. Look at this. Sometimes a pass back is needed. and we have angles of support here. Look at this. 2 players out. Boom. Another player. Although we go back. But again, with 1 pass by the keeper, 3 players are out. There we go. Boom. Now, not a bad touch of the center mid. And look, we drew so many opponents in that a pass forwards leads to a goal scoring opportunity. All right, but that's because the opponent committed so many players forwards to the ball. Let's do that one more time. Going back to where we're supposed to be. There we go. So as you can tell, I've drawn lines between players who are interacting with each other. So do we have width? Do we have angles of support? Okay, so I do want to stress that my right mid here could be wider, as well as receiving position of my right back could be better, which hinders us potentially. But by going back to the keeper here, we did draw an opponent in. My center back moves very smartly. Boom. 1, 2, 3 players are out. If he now opens up forwards, potentially has my left mid or my center mid here, and we're good to go. Go on. So angles still. Keeper, calm on the pressure. Fantastic. Keep playing. And one more time. Stop it here. All right, so there's a little diamond here. If my other center mid moves away a little further, instead of dragging his opponent with him, okay, it would even be better. But, you know, we take our wins. There's a lot of positives out here as well. And you know how this is going to end up with an opponent. With the opponents being lured in and one of our players being one-on-one with the keeper. Well done.